It's wild to think a man who gave us modern electricity might have also built inventions the world was never meant to see. Tesla's story isn't just brilliance, it's mystery, missing papers, and inventions people swear were buried before they could change the world. And here's where it gets even stranger. The deeper you look into Nikola Tesla's life, the more it feels like you're peeling back layers of a genius history couldn't fully handle. Tesla wasn't just smart, he was the guy shaping the electrical world while barely fitting in it. Everyone else was fighting over business, patents, money. Tesla was out there chasing ideas that sounded like sci-fi to everyone but him. You know what's crazy? We talk about him today like he's some mythological figure, but his fingerprints are all over everyday life. AC power, induction motors, fluorescent lighting, radio foundations. His real, proven inventions literally power the world. And yet, that's only half the story. Because Tesla lived in that weird crossroad between documented brilliance and whispered legends. On one side, he's the inventor who electrified cities. On the other hand, he's the eccentric loner sketching machines that supposedly tapped the Earth for infinite energy or fired particle beams across continents. And somehow, over time, the boundary between fact and mystery blurred so hard that people started wondering if the real story wasn't what he created, but what he never got to finish. Maybe that's why his name became the go-to symbol for suppressed technology. When a man has already proved the impossible once, who decides what else he could have done? What about you? Do you think the world ever let Tesla show his full hand? This part blew my mind, because before we even touch the lost inventions, you've got to look at what Tesla actually built. The man wasn't dealing in fantasies. He was rewriting the rules of electricity almost casually. His AC power system didn't just win the war of currents, it became the backbone of modern civilization. Every time a city lights up at night, that's Tesla's signature shining back at us. His induction motors and transformers, absolute game changers. Smooth, efficient, elegant. Machines running everywhere today still echo his original designs. Then there's the Tesla coil, the wild, crackling tower people always show in documentaries. But back then, it wasn't for show. It was Tesla's gateway to studying high-voltage electricity, wireless transmission, and resonance. And here's the moment most people forget. Tesla also invented the world's first remote-controlled boat in the 1890s. He literally stunned crowds at Madison Square Garden by steering a metal boat with no wires, decades before anyone even dreamed of drones or RC tech. But nothing captures Tesla's ambition like his Colorado Springs experiments. Giant sparks leaping dozens of feet, wireless lamps flickering alive from meters away. It looked like magic. And this is where the myths were born. Once you see a man pulling lightning indoors, it's easy to believe he had even bigger secrets waiting behind the curtain. And just when it seemed Tesla had already pushed the limits, he dropped an idea that sounded impossible even by today's standards. He truly believed the Earth itself could carry electrical power the way a wire does. In his lectures, he spoke with this electrifying confidence, saying energy could be sent through the ground, through the air, even across oceans, lighting up entire continents without a single cable. Imagine hearing that in the 1890s. People were still getting used to light bulbs, and Tesla was telling packed auditoriums that one day the planet would glow with shared electricity. Some thought he was a prophet, others thought he was crazy, but everyone listened, because he spoke like he'd already figured it out. And honestly, you can't blame the public for getting swept up in it. They'd seen him command lightning, light bulbs with no wires, and control machines like a magician. So when he hinted that global wireless energy was only the next step, people believed the future was about to crack open. By 1901, Nikola Tesla believed he was on the brink of a world-changing breakthrough, a system that could transmit wireless power across the globe. To make it real, he began construction of a massive 187-foot tower in Shoreham, New York, known as Wardenclyffe Tower. Tesla secured backing from one of the world's most powerful financiers, J.P. Morgan, who invested $150,000 under the belief that the project was meant for a revolutionary wireless telegraphy system to compete with Marconi. What Morgan didn't know was that Tesla had far bigger plans. Privately, Tesla wanted the tower to become the first node in a planet-wide wireless energy grid. His theory was bold, By using the Earth itself as a conductor and exploiting a concept called Earth resonance, he believed he could send electrical power through the ground and atmosphere to any location on the planet. Free energy for everyone. No wires, no fuel, no limitations. In Tesla's mind, Wardenclyffe was the beginning of humanity's next technological era. But there was a problem. Morgan expected a business model, not a charity operation. Tesla hid his true intentions because he knew no investor would fund technology that could not be monetized. As Tesla shifted the project's goal from telegraphy to world power, Morgan grew suspicious. When Marconi successfully sent the first transatlantic wireless signal in 1901, Morgan lost interest entirely. The funding dried up. Tesla kept trying to revive the tower, taking out loans and nearly bankrupting himself. But by 1906, construction halted completely. Wardenclyffe sat abandoned for years. In 1917, during World War I, the U.S. government ordered the tower demolished out of fear it could be used for enemy communications. Today, Wardenclyffe remains central to claims that Tesla invented free energy technology because it was the closest he ever came to realizing his most ambitious idea, even if the world never saw it completed. Tesla's dream of global wireless power collapsed for several reasons, and not all of them are conspiratorial. First, the science itself was unproven. While Tesla successfully demonstrated wireless lighting and short-range power transmission, there is no evidence that he achieved long-distance energy transfer. Modern engineering also shows massive energy loss, limited efficiency, and physical constraints that would make worldwide wireless power almost impossible with early 1900s technology. Tesla believed the Earth was a massive reservoir of natural electrical energy waiting to be tapped. Throughout the early 1900s, he spoke about a future where humanity could draw power directly from the atmosphere and the ground, limitless energy without burning fuel. He described the planet as a conductive body constantly charged by cosmic rays, solar radiation, and natural electrical processes. These claims later became the foundation of modern free energy conspiracy culture, where people argue that governments and corporations hid Tesla's discoveries to protect profitable industries. Scientists today criticize these ideas, noting that although Earth does contain electrical phenomena, the amounts are too small, unpredictable, or unstable to power civilization. Still, Tesla's vision remains romanticized because it represents a world where technology serves everyone equally. A dream of clean, universal energy that feels both futuristic and almost spiritual. In the 1930s, Nikola Tesla shocked the world when he claimed he had designed a weapon unlike anything ever imagined. He called it Teleforce, but the media quickly renamed it the Death Ray. Tesla stated the device could fire a concentrated beam of charged particles at extremely high velocity, powerful enough to destroy aircraft from hundreds of miles away, melt engines, and obliterate entire battalions. Newspapers portrayed it as science fiction come to life, a machine capable of ending warfare with a single blast. But Tesla insisted his motive was not destruction. He believed Teleforce would create peace through deterrence, making every nation too well protected to be attacked. By his description, the weapon would form an invisible energy wall around a country, rendering it impregnable. He attempted to sell the idea to multiple governments, including the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union, each time promising that the weapon would change the balance of power forever. Yet there was one major problem. Tesla never provided a working prototype. He only presented diagrams, theories, and descriptions of how the weapon operated. No test was ever witnessed, and no nation agreed to fund or purchase it. Many engineers doubted the device was technically feasible, arguing that transmitting such a stable particle beam over long distances was far beyond the technology of the era. Still, the legend survived. When Tesla died in 1943, rumors spread that the FBI seized his papers, fearing the death ray might fall into enemy hands. Even without proof, Teleforce remains one of his most mysterious and debated inventions, a blend of innovation, ambition, and myth that still sparks imaginations today. Here's where the myth meets the mechanics. Tesla's death ray wasn't a laser, and it wasn't a Hollywood-style energy blast. He claimed it relied on charged particles pushed to extreme speeds using electrostatic repulsion. Imagine tiny metal particles fired like bullets, except accelerated by massive electrical forces instead of gunpowder. To control the stream, Tesla described a high vacuum chamber that would focus the beam tightly before releasing it. But even on paper, the design demanded huge amounts of power, far beyond what any facility of the 1930s could generate. And modern scientists point out the biggest flaw. The moment these particles hit open air, they'd scatter, slow down, and lose destructive force almost instantly. There was simply no way to keep a particle beam stable across long distances. In short, a fascinating idea, groundbreaking vision, but not something physics could realistically support. When Tesla died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel in January 1943, his ideas were still wrapped in mystery, and the US government didn't want to take chances. Within hours, the Office of Alien Property Custodian moved in and seized every document, notebook, and blueprint they could find. The FBI quickly got involved as well, worried that Tesla's research might contain weapon concepts valuable to foreign powers during World War II. A respected military engineer, John G. Trump, yes, the uncle of future President Donald Trump, was brought in to evaluate the material. After reviewing the papers, he concluded Tesla's death ray and other exotic proposals were speculative, impractical, and lacking workable prototypes. Officially, the government claimed there was nothing dangerous or revolutionary in the files. But the story didn't end there. Researchers later discovered references to missing documents, files that were never released, and boxes Tesla supposedly mentioned before his death. Those gaps, combined with decades of secrecy, continue to fuel conspiracy theories, suggesting the US kept the most valuable parts hidden. And even today, people still wonder, what exactly was in those missing pages? After decades of requests, the US eventually released a large portion of Tesla's seized papers, lab notes, letters, diagrams, and unfinished ideas. But several boxes that Tesla reportedly mentioned before his death never surfaced. Today's scientists have achieved some of the things Tesla dreamed about. Wireless power, for example. We now charge phones without cables, beam low-watt energy over short distances, and experiment with wireless drones powered from the ground. But Tesla's vision of global wireless electricity, powering cities across continents through the air and earth, still hits the same wall. Massive energy loss. The atmosphere simply can't carry that kind of power efficiently or safely. Modern directed energy weapons also look nothing like Tesla's death ray. Today's systems use lasers or microwaves, not particle beams fired across open air. They require precise optics, controlled conditions, and enormous infrastructure. Nothing close to a compact, nation-protecting beam weapon. Yet Tesla was ahead of his time in ways that can't be denied. He understood resonance, high-frequency electricity, remote control, and wireless transmission long before anyone else took them seriously. Tesla's lost inventions didn't become legendary by accident. They grew from a perfect storm of mystery, timing, and imagination. People were fascinated by a brilliant man who seemed decades ahead of everyone else, yet died alone, broke, and misunderstood. His eccentric personality, cryptic interviews, and grand claims in later life made him feel more like a prophet than a scientist. Imagine a world where Tesla's boldest dreams actually worked. No power plants, no fuel, no wires. Instead, clean energy beaming across continents, lighting homes and cities the way radio waves fill the air today. Remote villages would have electricity as easily as major capitals. Nations wouldn't depend on oil, gas, or massive infrastructure. Energy would be universal, almost like a natural right. And if his death ray or defensive particle shield succeeded, global warfare might look completely different. With countries wrapped in invisible protective domes, nobody dared to challenge. Society would revolve around abundance instead of scarcity, invention instead of competition. It's a wild, impossible future. But imagining it helps explain why Tesla's legend refuses to die. His ideas were so bold that even failure couldn't stop people from dreaming about what might have been. Tesla walked the line between genius and myth so closely that even now the truth feels only half finished. Maybe that's why his story haunts us. The sense that something extraordinary slipped through our fingers. What do you think? Were his inventions suppressed or simply misunderstood? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for more.